We've been here from the beginning of the Creative Katana V2 series with the original V2 that we reviewed when it came out to the Katana V2X, and now the Katana SE is here, and I think this pretty much wraps up the entire V2 series, I think. I have a Katana V2 for my setup at home. Yonk has one at his desk upstairs. I have the V2X and the SE at my desk. So we are practically drowning in katanas, but that also means we have had a lot of time with all three iterations of the V2 series, save for the SE, which we'll be talking about today. Inside the box, you get the Katana SE, the power cable options, wall mount, and of course the remote for the SE. Speaking of which, here is the SE. The first question would be, where's the subwoofer? Well, you're looking right at it, it's built inside. It would be easy to say the SE is basically just the V2X without the subwoofer, but that's far from the truth. The SE looks like the V2X, but the SE is actually much larger since it has its Quad Passive Radiators now. Creative swapped out the two 2.5-inch mid-range speakers and two 0.75-inch tweeters found in both the V2 and V2X for two 3-inch bass ones and two 0.75-inch fabric dome tweeters. And while we're talking about some of the technical stuff, both the V2X and SE have a peak power of 180 watts and a total system power up to 90 watts RMS. The frequency range for the SE goes from 55 to 20,000 Hz, and the V2 and V2X go from 50 to 20,000 Hz. Besides the specifications and its size, you are still essentially getting the same-ish high and mid performance of its siblings, or actually a little bit better, but lacking the kick of a woofer or subwoofer, equipped with its Quad Passive Radiators, and now that I actually think about it, it's the perfect soundbar to compare to the Razer Leviathan V2 Pro. If we had it on hand, but I guess the Leviathan V2 would do for now. The SE is pretty much everything the Leviathan V2 wants to be, but still can't due to its lack of ports and Creative being an audio company. The Katana SE sounds a lot better, of course, compared to Razer, who are a gaming peripheral company. It's very important to understand that both companies have different priorities, but the conclusion for this quick comparison is that the Katana SE kicks all kinds of butt. Quick note on how the SE looks like. The finish is actually very similar to that of the V2X, with the V2 having a much darker brushed metal finish. My only gripe with how it looks like, and I think this goes for all the katanas actually, is the material that they use for this screen right here. Since the V2, there have been these fine lines that kind of cut through the microphone segments here and here, and these straight lines definitely serve some sort of purpose, but it's not really apparent why they're there in the first place. So I do hope that Creative does look into improving the quality of the glass and, you know, just letting us know why those scratches are there in the first place. Performance-wise, we found that compared to the V2X with a subwoofer, if you want to get the same volume levels on the SE as the V2X, there is a 1:2 ratio. When the volume is on 15 for the V2X, the SE is on 30. The whole point of the V2X, besides being a more affordable variant to the V2, was to save space by making the width of the subwoofer smaller and taller in the process, but also making it less powerful than the V2 for smaller rooms that need the quality without the thunderous power of the V2. It gets really loud. Speaking of loud, I just want to shout out Creative for sending the Katana SE over to let us check it out. And before we continue, this channel is supported by brands who help us improve our content and keep us going, so stay around for this sponsored message.
If you're looking for a laptop that has both power and portability, look no further than the ASUS ZenBook 14X OLED. It features a large 70 Wh battery and stunning Nano Edge 14.5-inch 2.8K 120Hz OLED display. Powered by the latest 13th Gen Intel Core i9 CPU and RTX 3050 GPU, all packed in a thin 16.9mm chassis that only weighs 1.5 kilograms, so you can stay focused at work or play. For more information, check out asus.com.
The V2 SE is like the final solution if you don't have any space for a woofer or subwoofer, but you really want a soundbar for your room. This would be exactly what you're looking for. I mean, I wouldn't use this in my living room, though you can do that, but I still feel that this would be perfect for an office, room, or dormitory type setup. On the Katana SE, we've been playing videos, games, and music, and it really sounds like the V2 or V2X without the oomph, and obviously more emphasis on the mids and highs. Same thing goes for sound staging. Playing Modern Warfare 2 with just the soundbar, like what I do with the V2X or V2, we were still able to pick out directional cues, footsteps, and react accordingly. Playing Diablo 4 is pretty damn immersive. From the sounds of picking up gold to putting down the next demon you make eye contact with, and combined with the soundtrack, man, I'm in love. Listening to Lavender Haze by Taylor Swift while switching between the V2X at my desk and the SE, it's very clear that the lack of a subwoofer makes a huge difference in the overall experience, though there's more clarity now in the highs and mids. I'm not saying that the Quad Passive Radiators are terrible in any way, because there is sufficient enough bass compared to, say, the Leviathan V2, but I would still prefer a subwoofer. But the real question I need to ask y'all today is, would you get it at its current price point at $299 USD? While the V2X is at $279.99 USD and the V2 is at $329.99 USD. You could literally pay 20 bucks less to get a subwoofer or pay 30 more for the V2 where you get the full Katana experience. Personally, it all boils down to what you need from the series. If you have the space for a woofer and want the full experience, you go with the V2. If you have a little space for the subwoofer and need a speaker that won't rattle your neighbors and your bones in the smaller room, or just, want to save some cash, you get the V2X. Now, if you don't have any space and move around a lot, and by moving around a lot, I mean if you change your living spaces pretty often, say if you're going from home to university dorm to staying at a friend's house for a couple months, that kind of thing, and still have some cash to spare, the SE is the way to go. If I didn't get my V2, between the three, I would actually get the V2X because I wouldn't mind having a bit more leg room under my desk with the V2 SE coming in second because I will have even more leg room. With all things considered, if you're planning on getting the Katana SE, you really need to think about the situation you're currently in, about space and whatnot. Cost-wise, I mean, the three of them are pretty much in the same bracket, and it all comes down to maybe having less extravagant meals for 3 to 5 days, which isn't so bad. The Katana SE is still a solid soundbar with crisp audio quality, without the oomph of their subwoofers or woofers, but it still sounds like a dream, and it leaves a much smaller footprint in your setup compared to the other two, because it doesn't have a subwoofer or woofer. The next question would be, would you get the SE? Let me know in the comments below which of the three in the Katana V2 lineup you'd get, and if you like what we do, follow us on all of our socials right here to keep up to date with everything we do. Also, maybe consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It goes a long way in helping the channel out. And if you want to see more stuff, check this out.